Hey everybody! I'm here today to tell you, don't throw out your toilet paper rolls. Do this with them instead. That's right. Don't throw these things out. There are many things that you can do with these things right here. I know you're done your toilet paper, you have the roll, you throw it out, you recycle it, you dispose of it in some way, shape, or form. That is the wrong thing to do because you can actually use these for a wide variety of things. I'm actually planning on doing a separate video on like maybe 100 different uses for toilet paper rolls. So if you want to see that, comment below letting me know that you want to see it. And believe me, I will make it happen. It will be a long video. It will be, it will be really, really lengthy. Lots of uses, maybe 100 or 100 plus. But definitely I will make it happen if there's enough interest in it. So comment below. Anyways, I'm going to be going over 6 separate things that you can easily do with your toilet paper rolls that many people can use these for. They're really easy to do, really simple, nothing too complex. Let's get right into the video. Number 1 is you can use them as a circle tracer, okay? So my wife and I, we have 4 kids, okay? So we're always doing arts and crafts. And it's hard to find good circles for kids to use to trace because a lot of like the container tops are really large, right? And they're like different materials that, like in terms of this, it's cardboard, right? Kids can easily just use them, they can ruin them, and it's totally fine. Then you can dispose of them. So in terms of tracing a circle, it's the perfect size, really easy for kids to handle and adults. And if you ruin them, it's not a big deal. If you get pen on them or marker or pencil crayon, not a big deal because it's just a toilet paper roll. So in terms of their use as a circle tracer, in my opinion, it's perfect for kids, for middle-aged people, for older adults, for anyone. They're absolutely perfect for that. Number 2, cord storage and organization. I actually use toilet paper rolls for this. So essentially, I get my cords and I wrap them in sort of an oval shape and I shove them in here. And then this keeps the cords nicely organized and nicely kept together. I even cut them in half sometimes, and I'll use half of the toilet paper roll as cord storage because it's the perfect size. You can cut them to be any shape that you want, and they work really well at keeping your cords organized and kept together. Really easy. Just wrap them in an oval shape, put them in here, and you're good to go. Number 3, pretend binoculars. I do this all the time with my kids. You get 2 toilet paper rolls, you can glue them together, tape them together, and then you're just like this. You're pretending you're on like a safari and you're looking around. And you can, obviously they're not real binoculars, they're pretend binoculars, but you can sort of be very creative with it. You can pretend that it's a telescope and you're looking into the sky, right? And it sort of enhances creativity because even though they don't actually let you see further ahead, when you go and use them, you're seeing through a tunnel. So it enhances the creativity as if you're using binoculars with your regular sight. So even as an adult, sometimes it's good to just go like this with your pretend binoculars and it just enhances your overall creativity. Number 4, you can use them to wrap your ribbon or bow or any art and craft material that is long and string-like, okay? Yarn, for instance, anything like that. We all know that when you buy a ribbon or a bow or some yarn, sometimes it comes unwound and you lose the center. And sometimes it's wound within itself and you lose the center. And that can be a problem, right? So you can use these to wrap your materials around. Even in the garage, I have like some landscaping string that I use whenever I'm doing landscaping projects. And essentially it came wrapped around itself. So when I used it, when I had it all strung out completely for a landscaping project that I was doing in the backyard of our old house, I couldn't get it back together because it was just strung within itself, right? It was wrapped sort of around itself in the center. So I used the toilet paper roll and now I'm able to keep it easily. As an added bonus, I put a little hole in the toilet paper roll and I put the landscaping string through there. I tied it inside of there, pulled it out, so now it stays on the toilet paper roll, and the toilet paper roll is actually a handle for the landscaping string. Really, you can be really creative with it. That was number 4. Number 5, you can use it to store wrapping paper. Now for this one, oftentimes when you have wrapping paper and you start using it, you put an elastic band around it, and the elastic band, because it's tightly holding the wrapping paper in place, it usually damages the wrapping paper. Instead, I encourage you to do this. It's really easy. Get a pair of scissors, cut your toilet paper roll just like this, okay? This way it allows it to go over a wider area. And then open it up, put it around the wrapping paper roll and the wrapping paper, let it close, and like I said, it can go wider or more narrow, and essentially it's going to hold the wrapping paper in place, and you can easily slide it off. And if you're having trouble, you can put an elastic around this part when it's around the wrapping paper, and that will hold it a little bit better and make it easier to manage. Okay, but usually in my experience, I just put it around the wrapping paper like this, and it stays. I don't even need the elastic. Last but not least is number 6, which is they're very useful to start growing seedlings from. Now, obviously, because when you're growing a seedling, you're going to be watering it, right? The toilet paper roll is not going to last that long. But when you're growing a seedling, you don't need it to stay in this for a long time. Depending on the seedling, it might be a few days to maybe a couple of weeks. But essentially, you want to place them down on a flat surface, okay, preferably some sort of tray that you would use for gardening, or any type of pot that you would use for gardening or planter. You can place them down there, and essentially you can put your soil in here, your potting mix in here, and you can put the seedling in there and water it. And obviously you wouldn't cut it, you would leave it, whole like that. And then you can use it to grow your seedling, and then when the seedling is ready to be transferred to a larger pot, or larger pot or planter, you can then take this out and transfer it. But you don't want to put your seedling in this massive planter, because you're going to waste a lot of soil on it immediately. And oftentimes the water separates too much, and the seedling doesn't get enough water, but the water goes around the soil all around it. Instead, if you do this, your seedling is actually going to get the majority of the water that you're pouring in there. And yes, the toilet paper roll won't last that long because it's going to get wet, but you're probably going to get rid of it soon anyways to transfer the seedling out to something bigger. That's it. You can also use it as like a pretend microphone like that if you want to expand your voice, but that's it. Really easy to use a toilet paper roll for some other uses. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.